Hi everyone, my name is Laut Asmarati and I want to tell you about book recommendation entitled is Laut Becerita. Laut Becerita novel is written by Indonesian novelist namely Leila S. Chudori, and this novel was published in October 2017. And Laut Becerita novel has 379 pages. Die, you will be born many times. You will be fine. These quotes are poem in the first page of this novel and becoming the themes in the story. This poem is what motivates Laut and his fellow student activists to voice their views. In this book, Leila S. Chudori, as author of this novel, invite us to dive into case of enforces experiences. This book consists of two parts. The first part takes of the point of view of an activist student named Laut, telling how Laut and his friends devise plan, move around on the ground until they are caught by the secret forces. And in the second part is told by Asmara. Asmara is Laut's sister. The second part represents the feelings of the families of victims of enforced disappearances, how they search for their relatives who never return. Also about the feeling of the survivors, how imprisoned they were for the incident. The historical fiction have a nostalgic tone, give the reader a feeling of sadness and melancholy. The nature that takes two different perspectives allow us to empathize and understand the position of the various parties involved in cases of enforced disappearances. In order to establish a good emotional depth accuracy for readers when reading this novel, the author interviewed the victims and relatives involved in the tragedy of the 1998 activist kidnapping. In fact, this book was written as form of tribute to activists who were kidnapped, who returned and who did not return, and families who are continuously seeking answers of this day. The important thing that we must know about this novel is Laut Becerita novel is based on true story of activists who went missing and were kidnapped in March 1998. Then, novel Laut Becerita is educative. It's proven it contains knowledge of the history of the New Order regime, the history of the movement in upholding social justice, and the principle of democracy. The way after reading this novel, there's a lot of knowledge about history that you will get. In addition, behind the success of the novel, of course, there are a moral value that can be applied in everyday life. In this novel, one of them is way for a human being to humanize human from all aspects. And the last one is a weakness of Laut Becerita novel. Laut Becerita can indeed be cited as a novel with a historical fiction genre that is truly extraordinary. However, there are some shortcomings or weaknesses in this novel, such as a storyline used in a mixed plot or back and forth. If the readers are not familiar with the plot, it will end to be difficult or confused. This is because it requires an attitude of focus and careful understanding in order to follow the storyline well. Alright, that all my explain about book that I want to recommend you to read this novel. entitled It's Laut Becerita. I hope you want to read it because this is such a great book. And thank you. Bye bye.